Hey, everybody, Battlefleet Gothic Armada, let's go. I'm Dylan the villain, and we are picking up right where we left off, except you'll look in the port here and you'll see that there are some things that have been undone. For example, Battle Hawg has not been repaired yet, and he hasn't been made into Adeptus Mechanicus favor yet. This actually works out in my favor, this little autosave not being exactly up to date, and I look at Onion Knight still trapped on the warp here. That's unfortunate. But I didn't want to actually make Battle Hawg Adeptus Mechanicus last time. That was a bit of a mistake. I want to wait until I'm able to actually purchase these skills for that, rather than just make him Adeptus Mechanicus right off the bat. It doesn't really gain me anything until I can give him the bonus skills and upgrade the slot, or fill those slots for skills and upgrades that he gets from the Adeptus Mechanicus favor. And you see I'm looking here for anything that any good missions I could do, and I see a breakthrough mission, and it's chaos, and I need to reduce chaos threat, so that's the one I decided to go with in the Gwynrock Sound. Look at the, I don't know what those little symbols mean. I imagine that it must be Imperial Navy, or Adeptus Astartes rather. That's the start. Yeah, obviously I'm looking at the symbols here. That would give me favor with the Adeptus Astartes if I did one of those missions that have one of those blue symbols on it like that. But I decided to go to the breakthrough. Attacking breakthrough is a pretty easy mission, especially against the chaos. And it does reduce the chaos threat because it's a chaos mission. And I want to make sure I try and keep those threats down as much as possible. And I only take 3 ships, my 2 cruisers, my 2 Dominators, Imperium History X and Battle Hawg, and my battlecruiser, the Overlord class battlecruiser in Big Shot, instead of taking a light cruiser because I need a lot of more renown, because I kind of had to spend it because I had to repair up, or I gave Imperium History X Adeptus, or not Adeptus Astartes, Adeptus Mechanicus favor, which cost quite a bit, and I'm wanting to give Battle Hawg the same, which is also going to cost quite a bit, and it didn't help that Battle Hawg got destroyed last time, which cost me a little chunk of renown as well. Now, whenever I go into one of these breakthrough missions, I was thinking, I always like to start off near the gas cloud if I can, just to get a little bit of an advantage here. You see that I'm putting my battlecruiser a little bit further back. For some reason, and it's interesting, the cruisers, I will usually take Imperial Navy cruisers over the battlecruisers.
Yes, Admiral.
And you see these like little defaults that they set right here. I figure out later, in this very episode, in fact, this is post commentary by the way if you haven't realized, but I figure out later in this episode that how to set those defaults. They actually patched that in and I didn't realize. Those are settings that you can set by defaults. And I looked at the armor piercing, and I finally understand how it works now.
Yes,
I was right the second time around whenever I was explaining it last time.
Ready.
That it doesn't reduce armor to a certain value, it reduces it by a certain value. Or it reduces it by 25. Not to 20. If that makes sense. Yeah, it reduces the armor by 25.
Your orders.
Which means it's going to have a good effect on armored cruisers still. But it's not going to gimp like the most heavily armored ones. Since it can only reduce it by 25. But it's still very, very effective, and you're going to see it come into real big play against these lightly armored Chaos cruisers for sure. But as I was saying, I usually will take Imperial Navy cruisers over battle cruisers for the close knife fighting builds anyway. The reason being, the cruisers have normal macro batteries, and therefore gain the armor piercing value, and they gain a lot from being in close quarters. They're also slightly tougher, in my opinion, to the battle cruisers. You see me whiff 2 Nova cannons here. That was just bad luck, but
Activating tactical cogitators.
The battle cruisers don't gain any benefit from the armor piercing rounds.
Understood.
However, they are more consistent in their
Resuming
support function, in that their maximum range isn't useless. Like, they can hit things at their maximum range, and yeah, I actually expect the battlecruiser to be able to fight at maximum range, and it does a surprising amount of damage in this battle, actually. You see me fumbling around with, although admittedly, the cruisers and their macro batteries, broadsides, do,
'Resuming normal functions.
do significant damage almost constantly. You saw last time how I dealt with the Eldar, and this time dealing with the Chaos will be no different. You see good accuracy from the plasma macro batteries. Unfortunately, the plasma macro batteries aren't quite as damaging as the average macro batteries, at least not when they have armor piercing. But as I was saying, the plasma macro batteries are better than the macro batteries in that they do have really, really good range, and when you have the accuracy upgrades, they maintain that accuracy up to a good distance, which means that they don't need to be quite as durable since they're not in as hot of combat as often. And Battle Hawg already getting focused, his shield's already down. A broadside onto that cruiser nearly destroys it outright.
Your orders.
Trying to get some maneuvers in to avoid these bombs here. Yeah, that cruiser has, or that light cruiser has sustained unbelievable amounts of damage in this brief little period here. And the battle cruiser looks to have... has he taken him out? Yeah, he's taken him out. It could have been the volley from Imperium History X that did it, but the battle cruiser's firing off again. I'm not sure if this is the case, but the fire rate for the plasma macro batteries might be higher. I'll need to check whenever I see.
Your orders.
Because I'm not sure. Lots of bombs and Nova cannons going off, however, not much able to be done here. Can't really land anything. Although I did land that Nova cannon. Not much damage was done, but still, it's always nice to get one off for free. Looking for some boarding actions, a little bit out of range. You see Big Shot firing off a couple of rounds towards the light cruiser way over there on the other side of that gas gullet, and it hits both of them. That's what I'm talking about. The range there, macro batteries usually wouldn't hit at that range, but with the accuracy upgrade to the plasma macro batteries, this volley has surprising accuracy. It's able to fire or exert its influence over, see, every single one of those shots hit. It's able to exert its slightly less DPM over a much larger distance, and it's able to keep itself safe by engaging targets at, larger berths. It's especially useful against things like the orcs, because it doesn't need to get in close to do damage to them like the cruisers would. Again, its accuracy, the accuracy upgrade for the battlecruiser is one of my favorites upgrades. It's armor piercing for cruiser level. Like, the fact that it can hit all of its broadside shots at distances that would otherwise, like, you get a couple misses, a lot of your broadside damage has fallen off because of that. It makes it very, very consistent, and it's not a frontline ship still. That's definitely the cruiser's job. But it is a very potent damage support. That and the fact it does get torpedoes, which has come in useful sometimes, but not very often, I'll admit. Get a ram off with Battle Hawg. I tell you, I love using Battle Hawg as either bait, and to be fair, this battle, I'm gonna spoil it a little bit. This battle does give enough renown for me to adequately give him Adeptus Battle Hawg, talking about, give him Adeptus Mechanicus, and you see a light cruiser running away here. That's a damn shame. You saw a really poor accuracy volley from Big Shot there, but as I was saying, I will be able to get Battle Hawg, pardon me. I'll be able to get Battle Hawg, Adeptus Mechanicus, and an upgrade in skill after this battle. However, I do want to keep this cruiser here and not let him run away. Pretty poor accuracy volley there. That's extreme distances. However, it seems a broadside's about to come soon.
Awaiting orders.
And his health was reduced to nothing, but he did escape, it seems.
Orders received.
And another one of their light cruisers is escaping. I decided to just forget about that one and just focus on the cruiser kill instead. Trying to get surrounding fire. He's already surrounded on both sides, but I want to try and cut him off so I can get fire into his... I say weak rear armor, but honestly the cruisers for Chaos are weak all around in terms of armor. They're not meant to brawl like these Imperial Navy cruisers are. And going broadside to broadside, it's never going to work because the armor-piercing rounds for the macro batteries, I believe the the armor-piercing ransom macro, and you see all those shots hit except for one. The consistency it's able to pull off at just like standard ranges of like 9,000 units, it's rather incredible.
Your orders.
And I try and get some surrounding fire, but as I was saying, the cruisers for Chaos are armored the same all around. I believe they're armored 50 all around, which brings their armor to 25 when I'm firing on them with the armor piercing. So it really doesn't matter where I'm firing at them, they're going to be treated as 25 armor no matter what. And I don't want this guy to go and lightning strike him. So he's definitely not going anywhere. And you see a good volley coming in, and a large amount. That's what I'm talking about. Huge amount of hits, and only one volley from anything is going to kill it now. And it was from Battle Hawg. Point blank broadside, all of them hits. Insubordinate. My Battle Hawg captain went insubordinate and then exploded, and you hear it say, "I lost the ship." I didn't, actually. Since the mission was over, it only counted as heavily damaged, so I don't have to actually revive the ship totally. Thank goodness, right? However, that was a very successful mission. Jumped me up all the way about to 800 renown. You see? Heavy damage. It didn't actually kill it. Thank goodness. I don't need to spend... Battle Hawg has really taken like the lion's share of the damage, it seems. So I go back to the Port Moss station, and just to double check and make sure that he didn't actually die. Fortunately, he actually didn't. It was just heavy damage. But that was a weird little bug there. Well, I don't know if it's a bug, but it's a weird little thing. And I decided to finally give him Adeptus Mechanicus, and I give him his upgrade. I decided to match up his upgrades exactly with Imperium History X and give him the Voss Pattern Void Shield, because I feel that has had the biggest effect. 25% chance to deny damage. That's a really big deal. And I give him the skill, the Void Shield, or the Shield Generator Invulnerability ability. Oh, it sounds stupid, but... And I was looking at his skill points, or I was looking at how close he is to getting level 6, and I realized that he's only one level away from having the same setup as the Imperium History X cruiser. And I was looking at what I might give the Big Shot as well. I was thinking, his weaponry. I could get a range upgrade. That's not really useful to me. For the lances, macro weapons increased by 3,000 units. That's not useful either. But I look at them as old pattern drive, and I think, maybe making it very fast would be useful. But it could also get some damage upgrades. Maybe I'll just make it give it a deck upgrade to try and make it more focused on its abilities. But we'll see. I was thinking of which, and you see now I find the settings tab, and finally I'm able to just set it to where I want it to be, so I don't have to. I can set all these on default autocast, and that's great. Set it on broadsides. There we go. Fantastic. Although I do have a problem on Battle Hawg for some reason. I'm not able to set the shield invulnerability ability. I need to remember what the fucking name of that is. Yeah, I'm not able to set the shield invulnerability ability to the supercharged void shield. There we go. The supercharged void shield to autocast for some reason. I turn off auto warp jump because I don't want it there, but I can't. I was trying, and I can't actually set it that, and I have no idea why. I checked to see if I could do it on Imperium History X, and I can. I have no idea why. I guess I'm just gonna have to. Maybe it has to do with the key binding, but regardless, that was all there was to this mission. It was fairly easy. I had a lot of fun doing it because I actually used positioning best, and I was able to maintain formation against the or maintain effective aggression against the chaos. And the recording is over now, unfortunately. Sorry to disappoint everybody, but if you like this, like it, comment, whatever you want, and subscribe if you want more. I'll catch you down the road.